Hello, today is a special video post, and I'm excited to share news with you that our family is growing. We're expecting our second baby in February. So I just want to say, if you have a fertility struggle and you just don't feel like listening to this, don't feel guilty if you want to shut me off right now. I get it. But I do want to share with you just my personal experience with trying to conceive the second time over with PCOS. Some things that I did the same, some things that I did differently. So hopefully, you can learn something from what I'm up to. All of this stuff that I chose to do was either based off of my experience as a coach or research or the advice of my doctor. So this is kind of like a personalized sort of bit of information. So what you need to do may look different. Okay. So the first thing that I was really focused on after the birth of Mac, our boy, is just recovering. Recovering from childbirth takes longer than 6 weeks. In my case, I had some pelvic floor problems and I had to see a pelvic floor PT. I also had some issues when I stopped breastfeeding. I had these like weird cycles of waking up wide awake in the middle of the night to breastfeed a baby that didn't need to be breastfed before. So I had to really work through a lot of sleep problems and a sleep deprivation. And we just held off on talking about that second baby until we felt like my body was past all of that stuff, because I did not want to put added stress onto a body that wasn't fully recovered. So I wasn't just looking for I feel mostly normal. I've wanted to feel great. And so when we got to that point, the other thing that I started doing was really tracking my cycles closely again. I get lazy with tracking my cycles. I shouldn't. I should know better. But so I got on an app. I used the Flow app in the beginning to track my cycles. And then when I got this opportunity to use a cool new fertility monitor, I switched to the Mira, M-I-R-A app. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, so I also made doctor's appointments. I went and saw my OBGYN, of course, and I got a lot of that kind of stuff out of the way. If your pap smear is out of date, they usually make you do it at your first OBGYN appointment when you have a baby. So I just kind of I just took care of it, got it out of the way. I already knew that was going to happen if I got pregnant. And I also went and saw my general practitioner, and I got my thyroid and a lot of other PCOS health markers tested out, like my insulin levels and all that stuff came out great. Also, make an appointment with your dentist. I didn't, and I should have, because I think I need a retreat on my root canal, and that's really not a great thing to do in your first trimester. So I was just kind of holding out to my second trimester to get the retreat on my molar. So I would totally recommend, if you think you're going to get pregnant, just do your dentist appointment, just get it out of the way. And to be honest, you're going to go to the doctor a lot while you're pregnant. It's a big time consumer. So if you can get those other boxes checked off, you'll be glad you did. All right, so let's talk about my workout, which is my favorite thing to talk about anyway. So I lost a bit of muscle mass after giving birth to Mac, just because I was taking care of a newborn. So I wasn't really super inspired to work out a lot, and breastfeeding really drained me physically. I lost weight, and some of it was muscle along with fat when I lost all my baby weight. So I really wanted to focus on getting some of that back, because having added muscle mass will make it easier to carry around a baby when I'm full term and deliver. Strong moms deliver faster. That's a fact, yo. And also just losing the baby weight afterwards and the added pounds I have, it'll be easier because I have a higher metabolic rate and better hormonal health because I have more muscle mass. In particular, I focused on building my glutes. My physical therapist, my pelvic physical therapist, hi Jen, she told me all about how pregnant women can lose a lot of glute strength because of the positioning of your pelvis, and late pregnancy sort of switches off your glutes in a way. And so you want to get that back. So I actually did, I'm forgetting the name of the book. Strong Curves, I think, by Brett Contreras, and he is the expert on building glutes. So I'll try to link to that book if you're interested in that, if you're kind of a workout nerd like me. For my diet, I just kept everything pretty much the same like you see in my on my website. That's how I eat. I eat the PCOS plate most of the time. I did focus in particular on making sure I was getting plenty of healthy fats, because having healthy fats stored up in your body is great for having a healthy pregnancy. So after you have a baby, you're low on omega-3s because you needed them to make your baby. And you actually lose some omega-3s in your brain, which your brain is mostly made out of fat. So you want to make sure that you're eating plenty of healthy fats in the appropriate proportions for yourself, for your body size, as you recover from pregnancy, especially if you're thinking you're going to have another baby. Okay, and then stress management. You know, especially now that I have a 2-year-old, I really am focusing on being less reactive, because I don't want my emotional state to influence my hormonal state when I was trying to conceive. So I invested some time in myself every morning to do loving kindness meditation, just 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so those are kind of all the lifestyle changes I made in mind for getting ready for our second baby. The other thing I would add to that, just as a general advice, if you are thinking you want to have a baby, or you're like in the trying to conceive stage where you know, like maybe next year we'll start trying, get in the gym, get the skills in the gym, or get a home workout program going. It's so much easier to learn these things when you don't have other people to take care of, other little people. And just being stronger and fitter is going to make conception and carrying your baby both in your belly and in your arms, because those car seats for infants are so heavy and awkward to carry. So like my physical strength made my postnatal period with Mac a lot easier, and it definitely kept my hormones humming along, so that even at 37, and having PCOS, I had no trouble conceiving our second child. In fact, it was like just a one-try situation. So, but speaking of trying and conceiving, I had this awesome opportunity to use a Mira fertility app. It is it's an ovulation predictor kit paired with an electronic testing system that speaks to an app on your phone and uses the information of your cycles being tracked and your individual graph of what your hormones look like when you peak, to give you a good idea of what days you should try. If you have PCOS and your cycles are a little erratic, ovulation prediction kits of any kind can be super helpful. Otherwise, you might have to try like days and days in a row and just hope you hit the target. So I recommend some sort of ovulation prediction if you just want to make things easy on yourself. Okay, I'll put links to some of this stuff below. Oh, I bet you guys want to know what supplements I was taking, don't you? Everybody always wants to know what supplements I'm taking. Okay, so I took Ovasitol by THERALOGIX. That is one of my baseline recommended supplements. I order a lot of supplements from THERALOGIX because I've met the people at the company. I trust their third-party verification, and they have great customer service. So I also got my omegas from there, my omega supplement from THERALOGIX. And what I really think is cool is they have this whole series of prenatal vitamins. It starts with a preconception vitamin, then moves on to prenatal, and which is really, really awesome, is they have a postnatal vitamin that's formulated for breastfeeding. And that's really handy. We can talk about that more later. But I use the preconception vitamin. So is that all my supplements? And then based off of my thyroid having a little trouble recovering after Mac's pregnancy, my physician had me taking zinc and selenium and a B supplement, because I have the MTHFR gene, which just means that I have a little bit of trouble converting vitamin B12 into a usable form of the vitamin in my body. It's a really common genetic mutation. It's nothing to stress out about, but if you have it, methylated B12 is what you need instead of folic acid. Okay, so that is what was going on with me. I guess the next time you see me, I'll be just a little bit bigger. So comment below if you have any questions about the stuff that I did individually. Or if you just want to share some of your tips and tricks for preparing for baby number 1 to baby number 2, what you did to feel like you could really rock that second pregnancy, even though you have PCOS. Please subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date on all of the other awesome stuff I have planned to talk about before I go on maternity leave.